Hello everyone and welcome back. How many times has happened to you to lose time doing unproductive things or get easily distracted by notification, emails or too many things to do? Or maybe spend too much time grading or try to improve your code or your paper for something that eventually did not really improve your work? Well, if this is your case, probably you have poor time management. So in this video, I want to provide some advice in order to improve your time management, improve your productivity, and reduce the stress that comes from time that is poorly managed. Before we start, I would really appreciate if you spend a little time subscribing to the channel and liking this video. I noticed that 80% of the people watching these videos are not subscribed, so it would really help spreading the content to reach more students and helping them by doing these actions. Thank you very much. In my career, by advising and mentoring many students, I have observed four main reasons for poor time management. The first one is the lack of a proper method. The second one is getting easily distracted. The third one is feeling overwhelmed by too many things to do. And the fourth one is being a perfectionist that prevents you from being productive. So now I'm going to analyze one by one and provide you some suggestions for each of these cases. And you can directly jump into one that suits you the most if you want to do that. So let's analyze the first reason, which is the lack of a proper method. So it is very important to realize that not everybody works the same. So there are some people that are more productive in the morning. So if you want to visualize this, and if you put the productivity versus time, you can see that the productivity is high in the morning and then quickly decreases during the day. Other people instead are more night owls. They start low productivity in the morning and that increases in the later part of the day. So it is very important that first, you know yourself, you know your body. And it's also very important that you adjust your tasks and your schedule based on what your body is able to do. So, for example, let's say you are a morning person. Then, in that case, you should do the most demanding task that require really mental awakeness in the morning, while you can leave the rest of the things that instead you can do, for example, when you're tired or when you're less productive later in the afternoon. A typical example is, for example, if you need to write a paper or do some intense research work, it's better to do that in the morning, while you can do in the afternoon work like responding to emails, grading, and other stuff that are not as intense on your mind. And of course, it's the opposite in case you're more of a night owl person. Let's now look at the second cause of poor time management. Oh, a notification. 1 second. Well, so I was saying, let's look at the second motivation for poor time management. Oh, I receive an email. 1 second. Well, does this happen to you? Well, it happens to me all the time. And this really gets you distracted and unproductive. If you're a computer science student, you are familiar with the concept of context switch. So when you assign a task to a processor and then you need to remove the task before it's completed and put another task on. And this creates a lot of delays in order to update the registries, update the memory, etc. So it exactly works the same for your brain. So if you are focused on something and then all of a sudden you receive a notification, an email or something that moves your attention on something else, well, then you're going to be distracted and it is going to take extra time in order to get focused again and productive again to what you were doing before. So it is extremely important that we minimize the context switches and minimize these distractions. So things that you can do, of course, to turn off your phone, put it in silent mode, remove the notification, put it in a drawer, close the email client. You don't really need to respond emails right away. It's something that I do too. It's one of my habits that is not great when you're trying to produce something that requires a lot of attention. Another thing that you can do in order to address this need that we have created with mobile phones, etc., to be present and responsive is to take breaks. So, for example, you can have 30 minutes in which you are completely focused on what you're doing. Then you have 5 minutes break in which you check your notification, check your emails, check your WhatsApp message, etc. And then you have 30 more minutes in which you focus on what you were doing before. So in this way, you minimize the context switch and you improve productivity. So the third cause that I've observed in poor time management is feeling too overwhelmed by the so many tasks that you need to do. Well, in our job, we need to do research, we need to read research papers that have been recently published, we need to do teaching, we need to review papers, review proposals, have meetings, gradings, etc. So definitely you're going to be very busy. So what you can do about it? So first of all, you should try to assign a priority to each of these activities. So not all of them have the same deadlines, not all of them have the same priority, not all of them have the same importance. And then you should match them depending on their priority and how much mental activity do they need in the period of the day in which you're more productive, as we said at the beginning of the video. Another very important aspect is that you should learn to say no. So you should not jump into everything that is proposed to you. Some of the things that will come your way are going to be very important for your career, are going to be something that it's very important that you do, and you do in time, and you do very well, because those are going to be new opportunities that you're going to have then in the future. But some other ones may be just a waste of time. So it is very important to develop a sense of what is good and what is not good for you. And the best thing to do here is to talk to your advisor and talk to mentors, because sometimes it could be your advisor themselves that assign you something to do that you should do, right? So, and that of course is a difficult conversation. So that's why it's important to have a network of mentors, as we've mentioned in many other videos, in which you can talk to your advisor, talk to the mentors, and develop this sense yourself to find the right balance of, in this case, what you can say yes and what you should say no instead. Let's now analyze the final cause for lack of proper time management, which is perfectionism. So, does it happen to you to spend a long time, for example, writing and rewriting and reading and rereading an email or a paper, or, for example, trying to optimize your code so it could be more beautiful, more organized, or it could run in 5 minutes less than it used to run before? Or, for example, you want everything to be absolutely perfect to the point that this decreases your productivity and can, even in the worst case, completely block your progress. Well, what you need to realize here is that doing your best is important and is a good attitude, but achieve a level of perfectionism that doesn't really improve too much the quality of what you're doing and waste a lot of time is not something that really is benefiting you and the people that work with you. It is important here to know the 80-20 rule. So in general, it takes 20% of the time to achieve 80% of the quality of the task that you are doing. But then it takes 80% more in order to fill the remaining 20%. So you should also understand that not everything needs to be perfect. And actually, nothing is perfect. There is no perfect paper, there is no perfect proposal, there is no perfect presentation. You should develop with time, working with your advisor and with your mentors, a sense of what is an acceptable level of quality for what you're doing, so that you reach that quality and then you not keep wasting time trying to improve it without really making any progress in terms of the quality of the work that you are delivering. Well, I hope this video was useful. Let me know in the comments below if you fit in any of these categories. Thank you very much and see you next time.